Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 246, Nostalgic Baseball Geezer and Cesar Cedeno. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison, and we have Nostalgic Baseball Geezer, Justin Rinaldi. How are we doing tonight, fellas?
Great.
Fantastic. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting back and listen to what Justin has to say on this one, because I know just enough about this guy, but I don't know the entire story of him, and I can't wait to get into this. So,
You know, I just realized I forgot the popcorn.
yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It depends on what kind of movie you like. So,
I mean, fair point.
this will be a drama.
Yeah, this
I'll
won't be a Disney movie.
I'll try to make it comedic because it's like one of these things that's so sad and pathetic where it's like if you don't laugh a little bit, you know, it's gonna bring it down too much.
Yeah,
Fair.
absolutely. All right, before we get into it, make sure that you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. If you do any shopping with these companies, please do it through us, as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the podcast and get your kids the equipment they need for fall sports coming up. Justin. And we also have Rounding Third merch. Search Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy to get some sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers. We got some cool stuff on there, so check it out. Just another great way to support us. All right. You guys have seen Justin on our podcast before. We love when he comes on. He always brings something interesting. If you have not followed him, please do yourself a favor. Go on Facebook, follow Nostalgic Baseball Geezer. You will not be disappointed. The content he puts out is absolutely incredible. And he pulls me in with every post that he puts out there. So,
Well, thank you. I hope that our Cesar Cedeno stuff today is enjoyable. It was all stuff that I knew a little bit about, but then the more you read into it, like it just is incredible the amount of crazy things that happen to this guy.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. So let's dive right in. So take it away, Justin.
All right. So background on Cesar Cedeno. In the 1970s, I had a clip on my page actually from Leo DeRocher talking about him, comparing him like at a young age. He was as good as Willie Mays, according to Leo DeRocher. Now, he managed him, so maybe he's exaggerating a little bit, but Cesar Cedeno was pretty amazing back in 1972, 1973. So he was 21, 22 years old at this time, hitting 320, 25 home runs, stealing 50 bags, gold glove center fielder. I don't know if there's, maybe when like Acuna was coming up, like right at the beginning of his career, like that kind of trajectory, like already performing at an MVP level. So going into the off season for 1973, this guy's at the height of his game already. And like people are wondering, like, how much better can he possibly get? He's from the Dominican, and Dominican baseball is a huge thing. So he's like a hero over there. Everyone worships him. So that's when like the trouble starts for Cesar Cedeno, is this off season after his age 22 year. He hit 320, 25 home runs, steals 56 stolen bases. In the offseason, goes to his hometown, Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. And he ends up reporting a burglary to the police a couple days before the big event's going to happen here in a little bit. So a couple days before this huge event that's going to happen, he reports to the police that he had $5,000 in jewelry stolen from his motel. So he's staying in a motel. His wife is staying with his family. He's in like a motel in a seedy area of town. And $5,000 of his jewelry gets stolen. And he says it's a couple prostitutes stole $5,000 worth of jewelry from him. So that's like before the big event. He has apparently a bunch of his jewelry stolen. Not exactly sure why he's at this hotel in the first place, but he's clearly cheating on his wife at this point.
Well, if you're blaming it on prostitutes, then I would say that's a guarantee.
Yeah. So that's like the prelude to the big event on December 13th. Or no, December 11th is when this happened. So December 11th, that night he is seen at like the clubs with this 19-year-old girl. Altagracia de la Cruz is the name of the lady. And there's reports that they're arguing on their way back to this motel, same motel where he got his $5,000 worth of jewelry stolen from. And at the motel, he gets a couple beers ordered from whatever the room service type thing is, gets his couple of beers. And then there's a shot fired. And Cesar Cedeno comes out of the hotel room, or the motel room, and tells an employee that there's a dead body there, and he jets. So he is,
Sure, why not?
needless to say, he is a suspect in this.
No.
So I always, when I kind of had read that, I have a hard time understanding, like, how did that conversation go down with the motel employee? Like, let's say it's an accident, maybe he's just like twirling a gun around, accidentally fires, total accident. We'll assume that for now. You're leaving the place and you're like, hey, I just want to let you guys know, the mattress, great lumbar support. I love that. Downside, there's a dead body in there. I just wanted to let you guys know. I'm gonna see you guys later. Have a good one. Just wanted to let you know about the dead body in the room. So the motel employees go in. The lady's been shot in the head. She's dead. Police are called. They go ahead and bring Cesar Cedeno in as the prime suspect because he's the last person with her. So the story is, this is according to Cesar Cedeno, and I don't know, who he talked to that night, but everyone's kind of on the same page for this story. And the story is that De La Cruz, the woman, was curious about the gun and tried to take it from Cedeno, and it fired while he was trying to get it back from her. So that is the explanation for how she got shot in the head, is that she took a gun from a 6'2", 200-pound, 22-year-old superstar athlete,
Right.
19-year-old girl, and he, in trying to get it back from her, it misfired and shot her in the head. So that's the story that they're going with. Few holes in that story. I mean, seems like it's maybe unlikely, but that's what they're going with. And so voluntary manslaughter is the charge that gets levied against him. I am not a legal expert, but they set the trial for a month after his arrest. They end up speaking to 3 of the 15 witnesses, so they don't speak to everyone on the witness list. And then the real kind of thing that raised my antenna is that the Houston Astros send down a delegation to the Dominican Republic headed by their GM Spec Richardson. And when this happens, all of these Astros bigwigs in the front office, they go ahead, and within days of them coming down, the charges get changed from voluntary manslaughter to involuntary manslaughter, which has a much lower charges if you're found guilty. So there's no evidence that there was bribery happening with the Astros officials, but the charge gets changed at a very, coincidental time that all these Astros officials come down there and kind of flex their muscles a little bit. So they go to trial, and the big defense for Cedeno's legal team is that the paraffin tests show that the residue or gunpowder, I guess residue. I'm not a legal expert here. I haven't watched enough CSI, but the gun was fired from her, is what they're saying. So these paraffin tests are supposed to prove that. So the police say that they ran these paraffin tests, but in the court of law, they actually have no evidence that these paraffin tests actually happened at all. So they say that they happened, but they don't have any evidence of these tests. So it's like, you have to just trust us. It showed that she shot the gun, but there's no evidence of that actually happening. So the verdict comes back, and he is guilty of involuntary manslaughter. And the judge decides that the sentence will be $100 fine. That's it. No more jail time. He pays $100 fine, and that day goes back to the United States.
Jeez, that's wild.
The Houston Astros don't go ahead and fine him, suspend him. Major League Baseball does nothing.
Shocker.
He just gets charged with involuntary manslaughter and pays $100 and is on his way. I mean, I think I probably could easily spend $100 on a dinner tonight with my family if I went out, and that's what he ends up paying. He goes out to dinner, basically. That's the fine he pays.
My God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe this was just really coincidental, right? Like maybe this is just like the worst set of circumstances. I've had some things happen to me before in my life where I'm like, oh man, the dumb luck. I just accidentally, I left the gun out for this person and they just grabbed it, and I tried to grab it back and boom, shot her in the head. Maybe that could have happened, but all of the things that happen after this make it seem like it's probably not just an accident. Like it's probably just Cesar Cedeno's like a really horrible person who's like out of control. All right.
That is wild.
Fast forward.
I can't even wrap my mind around that. I mean, like, crazy. Like, I get probably forensics and stuff weren't like it is today back in the 70s, but still, I mean, that's crazy. $100 fine for being found guilty.
Yeah, and we promised Texas Repo. This is not an Astros bashing channel, but this is just a story too good not to tell.
Yeah. No, I mean, Cesar Cedeno, superstar player. Like, I think I was talking to you guys. I think I was talking to you, Nick, about it when we were talking about Pete Rose. And I had said to you, like, I think the line that I draw is like maybe murder. So I don't know if Cesar Cedeno, I think he's a borderline Hall of Fame guy, but if he was more surefire Hall of Fame, I mean, I think he and his story might be enough to make me just be like, I can't look past all the stuff that he ends up doing here. Like murder's a big one, but he's got more stuff coming down the pipeline here.
All right, let's go.
All right, so surprise, surprise, when this happens, like it starts trickling out that he murdered someone. Sorry, involuntary manslaughter. And he starts getting heckled by fans. So one of the fans that heckles him, it's in the first inning of a game. So this is in, 1981. So this is almost 8 years after the incident. And there's other stuff that happens between them. So it's not like he's been a good guy for 8 years. Right. But this is directly related to him getting charged with involuntary manslaughter. And so the fan is apparently harassing him and calling him a murderer in the crowd. And he loses it, and he runs up into the stands and starts kind of like shaking the guy and pummeling, and teammates have to pull him off. And he gets kicked out of the game, Cedeno. He gets fined $5,000, which is, it's 50 times more than he got fined before. No suspension, though. Jumps into the crowd during a game, wrestles around on a fan. No suspension from the Astros or Major League Baseball. The league president, Charles Feeney, says that the comments went beyond decency. So the NL president's like, this was indecent for this fan to call him a murderer, a guy who did kill someone. He's charged with involuntary manslaughter. It's, I think, pretty obvious if you kind of like read into the details. It's probably he just killed her. Why he killed her might have had something to do with his jewelry getting stolen. We don't know. But anyway, Cedeno talks about this incident where he charges into the stands, and he says, I'm sorry for that. I do prefer not to comment on exactly what he was calling me, probably because he doesn't want to bring up the whole murder thing again. That's why I took action, because he was talking directly to me and he was doing it for 2 days. So, Cedeno, he couldn't handle that harassment for 2 days from someone else. I don't know. I think if you're a professional athlete convicted of manslaughter, and your team likely bribed officials to eliminate any jail time, you might get some public criticism. Like,
just a little.
That
Just a little.
could happen.
Yeah.
So he gets a slap on the wrist for another pretty big incident. Obviously, this one's not as big as the murdering someone, but pretty bad. He has, like, between these incidents, he has a couple other minor things. He ends up getting suspended 3 games for bumping an umpire twice. Bumping is, a kind word. He basically just, like, starts kind of like almost wrestling with these umpires. In 1975, he gets fined $200. He gets frustrated and smashes a glass water cooler. I don't know why you would have glass water coolers anyways, but a glass shard from that gets lodged in a teammate's eye. So he gets fined a couple $100 for that. 1978, he gets fined $5,000. He punches a plexiglass dugout roof and requires 17 stitches on his hand. I don't know why you even fine him for that one. That's just a natural consequence there. And so he's got these things kind of piling up, and then he gets suspended shortly after the fan incident for 3 games because he throws a temper tantrum because his manager wouldn't have him fly first class. So those are a lot of things going on. He's got a lot of little incidences after this. But to me, like, the fan one and some of those, like, those are all minor things compared to murdering someone. But we'll get to more horrible incidents, because those are just like the minor ones besides the murder. So we'll move on to the next one. Still awful. So it probably wouldn't surprise you that Cesar Cedeno has a bit of a drinking problem.
This comment's right for you, Nick.
Yeah, Steve Bauer may not be so bad.
Yeah, I think Trevor Bauer's got nothing on Cesar Cedeno.
Yeah.
So in 1985, he's on the Reds now. And the Reds will get off of the Houston Astros and making fun of them. The Reds are managed by Pete Rose at this time. So it's possible, like, they don't have a great moral compass for what's going on in 1985. So in January, in the off season, before the 85 season starts, he gets a DUI. He crashes his Mercedes into a tree. At this point in time, his first wife is not in the picture anymore. He's got a new girlfriend, Pamela Limon, and
Good luck.
Pamela has no idea what she's signing up for here. So Limon is in the vehicle with him. He was driving. Cedeno refuses to take a breathalyzer test after this accident. So officers cuff him. They try to put him in the back of the squad car. And he starts kicking out the windows of the police car while he's in the back seat. So he's, like, in the back seat and gets his feet up and starts kicking out the windows of the police car. So they have to bind his legs together and basically hog tie him in the back of the car so that he stops trying to kick out the windows. He gets some minor fines for this, has to take a DWI course. He gets probation for 8 months, which sounds, hey, maybe finally this guy's going to get some punishment here. Unfortunately for the probation, he can report by mail for probation. I didn't know that's a thing, that you can do probation by mail. Because he's a professional ball player, I guess he can just report, like, you send in a letter. I don't know how that works.
Well, probation, you're not supposed to leave the state, I'm pretty sure, if you're probation. But if you're a professional baseball player, obviously you have to leave the state. So I'm wondering,
he was able to leave the
that's
state.
why.
I think they paid for his postage on the letters that maybe he's sending out. I don't quite know.
How nice of them.
So to me, like, this one, yeah, like, he's starting to do some, like, fighting off police officers is kind of where this is going suddenly. So the Reds, their response was kind of crazy because, like, throughout this, like, the Astros covered his butt. You know, like the Astros, they didn't fine him. I mean, they fined him for complaining about not flying first class. That was their big. They suspended him 3 games for that. But the murder and, you know, assaulting a fan, they were cool with that. But the Reds, they're kind of just as bad. So the Reds president's this guy named Bob Hausman, and Bob Hausman said that this incident with the Mercedes and getting hogtied in the back of the police car, that it could have happened to anybody. So could happen to anybody. We've all,
sure.
we've all had our rough days. You have a few too many to drink, wrap your Mercedes around a tree, and then start kicking out windows in a police vehicle, and they have to go ahead and bind your legs. Like, could happen to any of us.
Yeah, we've been there.
I mean, just a few
and so
weeks
then
ago, I
found
could have sworn Nick just went through it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
when I read that, I was like, I got to see if there was a quote from Pete Rose on this. And Pete Rose, of course, did have a quote about this in 1985. And here's the quote from him. "You can't crucify a guy for something like this. It's something that could happen to anybody." So again, could happen to anybody. Like, this could happen to any of us. It's just, we're lucky it hasn't, really. So this is, you know, at this point, a pretty solid pattern of horrible behavior. There's no way he could do anything worse than murdering someone. But the Reds, like, his behavior continues on a different team. It's not like this was just an Astros problem, and then he goes to a new team and he's suddenly reformed.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, where do you draw the line? Like, I get who said it back here. DUI wasn't serious back then, which it wasn't. Like, driving under the influence back then was, you know, it was, I wouldn't say socially accepted, but it was. Like, in society,
Yeah.
it wasn't nearly a taboo thing as it is now.
You measured how long your ride was by how many beers you could drink in that time. Is that a 6-pack ride, 12-pack ride?
Yeah. But
well, and you know, when, like, at this point, it's 1985. He's about to get traded to the Cardinals, so he's gonna switch teams again here.
Probably a good idea.
He ends up, yeah. There's still, that's not gonna surprise you. Like, when he's changing teams, he's gonna still have more problems while he's still playing. So I got 2 more horrible things that Cedeno has coming up here. One is when he's playing, and then one is after he's playing, because he ends up coaching for a while too. So yeah, the next one is in 1986. Yeah, stealing babies and fighting cops. It's all par for the course for Cesar Cedeno. So the one when he's still playing, this is in, he has a couple other DUIs, by the way. Another one in 1986. In 1987, he gets into a bar fight and smashes a glass in a dude's face. So there's other things that happen in between events here. But in 1988 is the next kind of one that it's hard to excuse. And this one's not. There's not really any funny on this one. This is just an awful one. So no hog tying going on here. I'll end on a lighter one where he fights the cops again. How about that?
all right.
So Pam Lamone, the person that was with him when he wrapped the Mercedes around a tree, she is the mother of his child now. So that relationship's going well for him. And she calls up the police at 4:30 in the morning, May 27th of 1988. And Cedeno shows up drunk, beats her up, and then takes their 4-month-old baby and makes a run for it. She calls the police, and before the police show up, Cedeno comes back, slaps her around some more, apparently slams her head into a wall, and Cedeno ends up getting, I guess he was driving around with the 4-month-old at some point here before he came back. So beats up on a woman, takes their child for a little bit, and then comes back and beats up on her more. slams her head into a wall, just kind of some horrible domestic abuse stuff.
Jesus.
So then he mercifully retires from baseball, and ends up getting into coaching with the Astros, who bring him back for more. So he's coaching in the minor leagues. And then, by the way, for the 1988 incident, no punishment for that. I think it kind of just goes without saying. Like, of course, he's not going to get punished for that. He murdered someone, and nothing happened. So 1992, September 29th is our last one. And so there's a 911 call made that gets disconnected. So the police look up where this number came from, and it comes from Cesar Cedeno's apartment. So they show up. He's a hitting coach for the minor league Astros team. And Pam Lamone, she's pregnant now. She's locked out of the apartment. So Cedeno locked her out of the apartment because she didn't clean it, I guess. So Cedeno, OCD about cleaning, not exactly sure. He beat her up a bunch before throwing her out of the apartment. So the police go ahead, get inside the apartment, and they're dragging Cedeno out because he's not going willfully. And he grabs a nightstick from one of the cops while he's being kind of wrestled. And he takes the nightstick and starts trying to attack the cops with it. I don't know how he doesn't get shot at this point. Like, if you've got a cop's nightstick and you're swinging it around at them, I don't understand at that point why. I mean, he's lucky to be alive. But they eventually subdue him again, charge him with a bunch of stuff. He gets released on bail and does not get fired from his job as the Astros minor league hitting coach. They keep him on. I don't know how you wouldn't, after all this stuff has happened, the minor league hitting coach, he's not even a superstar or anything. It's not like they're trying to cover for him because he's their star player. He's just a hitting coach.
Is it appropriate that he's the hitting coach?
Yeah.
Aww.
I mean, I think, he likes to hit people. So,
Goodness gracious.
MLB organizations, some people are, worried about people cracking down. Today, I know you guys were talking about with the Guardians, maybe a lack of evidence, and they're kind of indefinitely suspending some other pitchers. They weren't really cracking down back in the 70s and 80s too much, at least for Cesar Cedeno. Like, his maximum suspension was 3 games. And, if you kind of run through all the events, it's hard to like look at everything that he did and be like, yeah, I think he's a decent person. So he killed a 19-year-old girl, was convicted, attacked a fan in the crowd, had a DUI from crashing into a tree and resisting arrest, no suspensions, brutally abused his girlfriend, dabbled in kidnapping and police assault, hired as a minor league coach and kept doing all of this stuff and kept getting hired. And the biggest suspension he had was, 3 games for not flying first class. Like, he wanted to fly first class. That's what he got suspended for. Didn't get suspended for any of these other horrible things that he did.
And to put the cherry on the cake, if you will, he's in the Astros Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I'll hear people, ever since I kind of learned this, like online, you'll hear people talking, Pete Rose, for example, has got a lot of bad stuff that happened in his personal life, where people will talk about Barry Bonds and using PEDs, and they're like, he's the worst person ever. If anyone says that, just be like, hey, you got to look up Cesar Cedeno. Like, he's got all these guys trumped. Like, he has done way worse stuff than any of these people. So, and it's not just, one of these one-off things. Like, it's just a series of things over and over time that Cedeno does that just kind of blow your mind that he's able to get away with all this. And there are reports, police blotters or blogs or whatever, and it's reported in the newspapers. It's not like it wasn't out there in any way. So there wasn't like a crazy cover up. Like they didn't have to do a cover up. Like it was information that was available, and everyone was just like, it could happen to anybody. Like,
So in all of your like history studying
Oh.
throughout the years, is this
Yeah.
guy the worst that you've come across?
This guy's the worst that I've come across. There's not a lot of guys where you see like a murder with a bunch of other stuff that like follows it. Like there's a lot of instances of guys throughout baseball history that do some bad things.
Yeah.
And we're familiar with some of them, and some of it's assault, some of it's, even murder or manslaughter, and his is just like such a lengthy rap sheet. And the part that just blew me away is just how it was information that was known, and people just kept making excuses for him over time. They just decided, you know what, it's not that big. Like I don't know why people just looked the other way and decided, we're not really going to do anything with Cesar Cedeno. Maybe at some point they're just like, yeah, no, it's just another Cesar Cedeno mistake.
Just
Cut it
Manny
out,
being
Cesar.
Yeah, say just Cesar being Cesar.
yeah.
Just him doing what he does.
And
Man.
he's
Looking
not
at the
he's
clock,
not in the
waiting
Hall of
for him to
Fame.
retire. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not in the Hall of Fame for the stat sheet. It's for the rap sheet. I mean, that's impressive, and to get away with everything. I mean, that's a level of talent you don't see every day.
Yeah, and he's, his career was definitely on a trajectory where he would have been a Hall of Famer. Like there's not a lot of guys 21, 22 years old that hit 320, 25 home runs in the early 70s. Like that's crazy. Like that's big power for a defensive center fielder who's winning gold gloves. He won 5 gold gloves. Like he was a guy who stole 50 bases 6 consecutive years. Like he had insane talent. And he after his involuntary manslaughter charge, like his career did, like he was still good, but he was never the same after that. Like after killing someone, say what you will about Cesar Cedeno, it did affect him in some way because he wasn't quite the same player after that all happened. Like it didn't change him for the better, but he wasn't as good of a baseball player after that, for sure.
I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, like your personal life affects you at work on our level. Like I can't imagine trying to do all of that and then going out and playing baseball. There's no way. There's no way it can't follow you.
I don't know. I have not murdered anyone.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I played the fifth.
I met a person online who knew Cesar Cedeno or knows him now, Cesar Cedeno, and they claimed that he's a much better person. I have to say, if Cesar Cedeno is watching this, I don't want my address out there for you, buddy. If you wanted to meet up for cocktails or something, I would probably pass. I usually I don't meet up with people where I think murder is on the table. Like I just,
Fair.
That's me. Like I usually if Nick and Harrison, you guys wanted to go out to a restaurant, if I felt like you might murder me, I would come up with an excuse. I wouldn't go out with you guys. That's just like an assumption, like murder's off the table. I don't know if I would feel that way. If Cesar Cedeno, I somehow encountered him, I think I'd steer clear. I'm a pretty big fanboy for baseball players, but I don't think I'd approach him and get his autograph.
Yeah. So that's good to know, Harrison, for when we make our trip to KC and Justin stands us up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I think this could be a murder situation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that it's because of me you won't be there.
Man, this was wow. Like I didn't know. I knew of some of this just because I saw your post. I think one of the 4 actually. And then when you sent me the series and the text, I was like, holy smokes. I had no clue it was like this deep. It's wild.
Yeah. And I think the crazy part for me is just how people will still bring up Cesar Cedeno's name and talk about how great he is. And I'll see conversations going on, like hundreds of comments, and no one's mentioning anything about the fact that he murdered someone. Like, I do understand, like with Pete Rose posts, like it does become a drag when people are like, there was a 14-year-old or whatever, like there's some horrible stuff he did. But I just don't think some people know that he murdered someone, and then not only that, just had like a series of horrible things that he did after it too. Like it wasn't just one thing. Like he didn't learn from his mistake. I don't know if there's, I don't know how much goodwill we should have for someone being like, I murdered someone, I'm sorry now, forgive me. But he didn't really show a whole lot of remorse after the fact either. Like he kept having serious problems where he would, whether it was domestic abuse or fighting cops, like he just kept having problems throughout his life. And I hope that Cesar Cedeno in his old age now I hope he calmed down and isn't still having murderous thoughts all the time.
Yeah, man, absolutely wild.
Well, and this is a guy who continued the pattern because he knew he can get away with it. If he got shut down along the way, a lot of this stuff doesn't happen. But it's like, I'm going to keep testing it and see how far I can push this and see how far I can use my name and celebrity to get me. And apparently worked out really well for him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. He never ended up having any major.
Yeah, Brian, we don't, but Captain's our muscle. Yeah. Captain's the muscle. So we don't really have to, but if necessary, we got Captain.
I mean, I have to imagine, I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in his shoes and like being in a situation where you would murder someone else. I mean, it's got to change you in some ways, but
has to.
I think it's hard to kind of keep living a normal life once you murder someone. But I'm not a murder expert, so we'd have to interview someone. That's for you guys. You guys find someone who's murdered someone else and interview them, and you can ask them that question. I think it'd be hard to live a normal life after you do something that horrible. But there's something off with you if you can murder someone and then, abuse women and fight cops and do all these other crazy things that he ends up doing. So clearly he's had some anger and alcohol problems throughout his time. I hope that Cesar Cedeno, those are when he was in the public spotlight. So hopefully not in the public spotlight. He's not had more horrible things, but I can't say I feel confident that he hasn't.
Yeah.
Probably a good candidate for, sociopath status where you can do all these things and just continue on and, do all this thing, go play baseball and play to the high level and completely separate your lives. That's wild.
Absolutely insane. My mind's blown right now. Pardon the pun there.
And yikes. I mean, I knew some of this. I did not know all of it. Like that's wild.
Yeah, crazy. Well, Justin, thanks for coming on and sharing that with us. That was.
How are you going to segue out of this? Are you just going to segue and be like, and the Red Sox?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah.
Speaking of killing it, let's talk about the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't really know. I hadn't thought that far ahead, but it's probably going to be a little messy, just like the life of Cesar Cedeno. So maybe I'll put it like that. But it's always a blast having you come on, Justin. And like I said, if you have not followed his page, please do so. The stories that come out I learn something new every day that he posts. And the baseball community out there is incredible. So thank you for being a part of ours and coming on and sharing these stories with us and our followers. We really appreciate it, Justin.
Well, yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Baseball history I'm always into it, even if it's, horrible things. So that's history for you.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, take care. Thanks again. We'll definitely have you on again soon. Can't wait to see what you bring. It's going to be hard to one up this one, but this is a good one.
I'll bring something a little lighter next time.
All right.
Yeah,
great.
There we go.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Bye, Justin. Thanks, you.
Justin.
Man, oh man.
Forrest is right. We could segue to what the Blue Jays did to the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong there. Not wrong. That's crazy. Wow. No clue. I had no idea. But all right. Well, here's the messy segue, and we're going to get into the news around the league, and we got some trivia at the end. So here we go. Roman Anthony, 8 years, $130 million extension. Yes, please, and thank you. This guy is locked up, staying in Boston. No threat of moving anytime soon. Your thoughts when this came through?
I mean, it's very, very happy to see him locked up. I mean, obviously, you run the risk of does he not pan out because you've got a small sample set, but I think we don't think that's an issue. And even then, it's really short money considering what you're getting if he plays like he should. So I think it's a good contract for him. It gets him money earlier. He doesn't have to play for go through the whole arbitration thing and play at the league minimum. But it's a good deal for the Red Sox. They can lock him up long term. It works for everybody. Everybody wins.
Yeah, I agree. And the kid's putting professional at bats together already.
Yep.
I mean, you watch this kid at the plate. He's got the plate discipline. He's rarely off balance. I don't think I've seen him take like a really bad flailing swing.
I mean, I can't recall one. I mean,
No.
he seems to be pretty well in control every at bat. He's still obviously learning. He still has his moments where he struggles, but I think what you see on the whole is this is a guy who's got great plate discipline, great strike zone knowledge, can work in at bat, and knows how to have a professional at bat at a very young age.
Yeah. Chad, this is a decent point. Did we learn nothing from Campbell too soon, honestly? I mean, I think Campbell's a different animal, and this could be just me, but Campbell earned his way onto the team in spring training. Like, I don't think they were planning on putting him on the Red Sox right away. They were just like, he's earned a spot in the spring, so we're going to give this kid a try. Was the extension too early for Campbell? I mean, maybe, but he tore it up in the first 30, 40 games. I mean, you couldn't get him out. His on-base streak was there. He was getting on base. He was driving in runs. And then, the pitchers learned how to pitch to him, and he kind of hit a hole there. Now, could the Rafael Devers drama be a part of that? Possibly. But I think Roman Anthony's a different animal here. I think he's just a more complete hitter than Campbell. Because you could even see when Campbell came up, he had some holes in his swing that he needed to fix.
Well, and I think with Campbell, I think he made the team more so out of a necessity because the second base was a hole. I think if you look defensively, Campbell also struggled. I mean, I can think of situations where balls were hit right at him. I remember a line drive hit right at him that he dropped against the Angels before he got sent down. He was rough. Campbell, of the big three, it was always Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, and Christian Campbell. And then it kind of became Anthony, Mayer, and Campbell. Campbell was never the top one or two. As a Sox fan, I was surprised that he was the one that made the team coming out of spring training. I figured they would have taken the more experienced Marcelo Mayer and given Campbell more time. I think that was a mistake. But yes, I think Campbell's a lesson that I think they brought him up too soon. He was not ready. He was the least ready of the three. But I don't think that's going to end up being a bad deal long term. I think you're going to see him back here next year, and he'll be better for it. But Roman Anthony, I think the word around baseball and a lot of the conversation that came up for this contract is that this kid looks like he's the real deal. We'll see. I mean, he could be a total bust. But the Red Sox have spent far more money on players that have been far less productive. Yeah,
and I think $16 million for 8 years is a team-friendly deal, considering the upside of what this guy could bring.
Yeah, if he becomes what he's supposed to be, he's a $30 million a year player.
Yep.
If he doesn't, maybe he's a $5 million, $10 million a year player. You're not that far off.
No,
the downside's not that bad.
Right. So,
and it's not my money.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's the kind of guy you want to keep around.
Yep. All right, Gavin Williams almost broke the no-hitter streak for the Guardians/Indians. It's been a long time. 8 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball until Juan Soto hits a solo shot to dead center to break it up. And the Guardians are the last team to have thrown a no-hitter. So every other team in the league has thrown a no-hitter, well, besides the Indians/Guardians. And it has been a hot minute.
It was like 40-something years since they've thrown a brutal. It's a long time.
And he was so close, man. But Soto was sitting on that fastball. He knew that fastball was coming.
Completely teed it up. I mean, but that's a professional hitter understanding the situation and realizing that I need to sit and get my pitch, and he got it. Now,
Well,
if he had thrown anything else, I don't think Soto was prepared for it, but he was absolutely ready for that fastball.
and it was pitched like 117, 118. Like he was almost gassed at that point, I would say. But I mean, you're going for history. You're not going to yank him. So, and the Guardians have nothing to lose.
That's amazing that you're at this game. That would have been nuts.
Dang.
Yeah, and Chris Cabin says another franchise hates Soto.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. I mean, honestly, like it's better than losing a no-hitter on a blooper or a infield single. Like if you're going to lose a no-hitter, lose it big.
Yeah. And it was middle. And I think that's my point, Brian, is like when you're at 118 pitches, you can't feel your arm. And you probably can't feel much of your body knowing what you're going for either. You're in that like weird state of like anticipation, I guess.
Even if you're on pitch one, you can't leave it middle to Soto, period.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you need to know the hitter. Like you need to know when you can make that mistake and when you can't. And granted, at 118 pitches, whatever he was at, the likelihood of mistake is way higher.
Yeah.
But you've got to know who you're throwing to realize what your margin for error is, because it's not very high with Soto.
No. But I mean, he was pretty effective. You watched through that game, a lot of ground balls, a lot of weak contact, and then one not so weak contact. So
it's actually a fair question, Chad. Were people betting on him to have the no-hitter, so he gave it up? It seems like that might be what the Guardians do these days.
Yep. Yeah.
And Michael, so true.
Facts.
I mean, I can't imagine what that arm feels like after 117 pitches like that.
Yep. And at least it wasn't a bunt single. Oh. Amen to that. I hate when guys do that.
Ben Davis, who's the guy that got the bunt single against Schilling? That was awful.
Yeah. Soto wasn't fast enough for a bunt single. That's fair.
That is so true. He's not beating out any bunts anytime soon.
No, but yeah. All right. Speaking of beating up on a team, holy cow. I mean, we were talking about the Brewers last week, and they scored, it was like 37 runs on 52 hits against whoever they were playing. I can't remember that. But the Blue Jays won up them, score 45 runs on 63 hits against the Rockies. Yes, granted, it's the Rockies, but that's still ridiculous. Most hits in a 3-game series in 125 years. And their scores were 20, 15, and 10 in those 3 games.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous.
Absolutely insane.
So just to give you some reference, the Rockies run differential is minus 316.
In that series?
In the last month? Yeah, they are minus 316 on the season. It is. I mean, they are historically bad.
What do you even say as a major league manager after you absolutely got your teeth kicked in? What do you even say? Hey, we only lost by 10 today, fellas, but let's get it tomorrow. Oh crap!
This is the same. 20. Yeah, this is the same team that came back down by 9 the week before. So, I mean, I think this Rockies team just rolls with it. I will say I give them credit. Like they didn't quit in these games. They kept trying to get things going. They just couldn't. It was a really, really bad series. You just forget about it, move on to the next one, because you can't let that one linger.
They have been in some wild series these last 2 series. I mean, that 17-16 game they had against the Pirates not that long ago that they went on a walk-off, and then they
came back from down 9.
Yeah, after being down 9-0 after the first. ERA for that series, infinity. Yeah, crazy, man.
A lot.
That's such a long day for the fielders too, especially at Coors Field where there's so much ground to cover. I can't even imagine being an outfielder out there. I'd be waving the white flag and be like, dude, just please take me out. Like I'm gassed. I've already ran 6 miles.
Yeah. ERA for that series is 15, just in case you're keeping track.
I mean, still not as bad as I thought, but and Chad, I agree with this 100%. Like it's still the MLB. Yeah. It's impressive regardless of being the worst team in the league. They're still professional ball players. To put up this amount of runs and offense is just absolutely crazy. But talk about some run support for your pitching though, Gotta love that.
Well, that's when you better see starters go 7, 8, because there's no reason you're not just like pumping pitches over the plate to get through
Yeah.
innings. If you're walking guys, you should have a mound visit just to throat punch them.
The Rockies forgot the safe word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
God.
man, absolutely wild
Yeah, and
series.
Bo Bichette is on an absolute tear too.
It's good to see him finally
Oh,
on the right track. He's such a good player when he's right and healthy. But with this being said, I know this is kind of like an outlier thing that happened. How are we feeling about the Toronto Blue Jays down the stretch here and possibly making a run here at the playoffs?
I mean, the Blue Jays continue to kind of do what they do. I mean, they're 5-5 in their last 10, but they've won 3 in a row. Before that, they dropped 3 in a row. They are a roller coaster, and I think that's just who they are. I think that's a good team. It is an inconsistent team, but they're good, and they've got the talent to hold on. It's just a matter of, can they night in, night out play good baseball?
That's fair. I mean, I think they're there. The way they're playing, I think they're there. I mean, the Red Sox are hot. The Yankees are not. I think they fall out. I think we're looking at Blue Jays and Red Sox coming out of the East. I mean,
yeah, the Yankees are the complete opposite of hot. Like, they could not be anything farther from hot.
Yeah. So I think they got it. I mean, I know I've been high on them the last 2 or 3 years, and I wouldn't say high on them really, as I'm just like, this team is too talented for them to not figure it out. Right? I've always said that. I was like, this team's way too talented. Like, why are they playing like this? I don't understand it. But Brian, I sort of agree with this. Like, at some point, I'm waiting for something to happen with the Blue Jays because it always does. It seems like it's inevitable.
I think that was his response to his full belly of Taco Bell, but that might be about the Blue Jays. I don't know.
Well, whatever. It applies to what I'm saying.
Both are true.
Yeah,
both are true
because it seems to happen.
Yeah, and this is an interesting concept, Brian. You know, they could make Coors a dome, and you could pressurize it or turn it into a giant humidor to cancel out the Coors effect. But isn't that what makes Coors Field so great? Is just the utter chaos that comes from that ballpark, and the fact that the outfield is so big that everything in the gap rolls forever. You still hit a ton of bombs. Runs are plentiful. It's wild.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope they can get there because I like seeing teams that haven't been in the playoffs. You know, at least for a while. I mean, the last time the Blue Jays were in the playoffs were what? Was that the Batista walk-off with the bat flip? Was that the last time they were in the playoffs?
Was that 2015? Like, when was that?
Maybe. Maybe they had like a sporadic one in there when they played like the Twins or something. Didn't they lose to the Twins?
Oh yeah, that's right. They made it in 23 in the wild card, and they got blown out.
Yeah. So I knew there was another sporadic year in there, but
2016 was the last one before that.
Okay. Yeah. But
that's they lost 2 quick ones to Minnesota, and they were out in 23.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Joshua, this is a good point. Their starting rotation is solid. Bullpen been good, especially with Hoffman. Their lineup with the role guys have been hitting, but will they keep it up? That's the question. I mean, that's the question we've had since the last time. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just been like, I've said, like, all our prediction shows before the seasons, you know, I'm just been like, the Blue Jays have got to be there at some point. Like, when do they figure it out? And I'm with you. Like, they're up and down. It seems like they figure it out, and then you're like, well, maybe they haven't. Oh, there they are again. But if you play 500 ball, I think from here on out, I think you're in a decent position. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
I mean, they are certainly in control. They've got a good spot. They're sitting in a good spot. They just have to hang on to it and play good enough baseball the last 2 months to hold on to that lead.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jen Powell. She will be the first female umpire in MLB history this weekend. Marlins at the Braves. So she will be on the bases for the doubleheader. When's the doubleheader? That's scheduled for Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
Saturday, and she'll be behind the plate on Sunday. So pretty cool. And the reaction from the players across the league are pretty awesome too. Like they're all for it. And they're like, we have a relationship with her already because we've seen her in spring training. So players have a relationship. They know who this is. But pretty cool that we got some history being made this weekend.
I think it's really cool. And I think we talked about her maybe a little over a year ago, a couple years ago now, maybe on the show when she was first getting involved. And we're like, great. Like, let's hope that A, she's legitimately an umpire and this is not some kind of publicity stunt, and B, that they give her a real shot. And let her, be an umpire, let her do the job. And she's done a great job in the minor leagues and gets one of the first call-ups to come in and fill in, which I think is outstanding. And, she did some MLB games this spring, and a lot of the players had seen her and, were complimentary of what they saw. Obviously it was limited. But I think it's great.
Yeah. And
now let's see it.
Yeah. And I hate that this is going to happen, but her first blown call or missed strike, like social media is going to blow up. Right. And I hate that because listen, if you've watched any baseball this year, they're all freaking terrible. Right?
I mean, there's an example every night.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, Brian. Like, it can't be worse than CB Buckner. There's so many bad calls throughout every night that we see. Like, I just hope that she doesn't unfairly get raked over the coals because it is hard. But she's proven to be one of the best minor league umpires. She's coming up to the level, professional level. Yeah. She's got to have some skills. You don't just get called up just because you're a woman or a female. Like you have to be good at your craft to get there, and she is.
Yeah, and these are unionized umpires. There is a process to get called up, and for whatever is required, she reached and is getting called up. So I think it's great. And again, I go back to my original comment of they need to let her do the job.
Yeah, exactly.
She should not be treated differently. She should not be managed differently. Like you have to let her do the job, and she either does it well or not. And then she needs to succeed or fail on her own merit.
Yes. Yep. As an umpire, not a female or male.
Exactly. As an umpire.
Yep. Flat cheese. Yeah. She's behind the plate on Sunday. So I'm wondering if they're going to flex that game to a nationally televised. Cause it is history. I'm wondering if they're going to.
It could.
East Coast, I'm all for this, even if she is bad. Yeah. Can't be worse than Angel Hernandez.
And you're not
wrong. Amen to that, buddy.
Oh, Brian, careful with this one.
Yeah,
careful.
And exactly, it's the same standard. Absolutely the same standard.
She is an umpire.
That's
male, female, doesn't matter. She's an umpire. Grade her as an umpire.
Yep, absolutely. So, and like I said, umpiring's been terrible across the league all year. Yeah. We see it. And yes, I know social media kind of blows it up and it blows it out of proportion. And we have the K zone box. So us our couch umpires can be like, oh dude, you missed that by 1/10 of an inch, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like
that ball was a whisker off the plate. You suck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like, I get all that. But I just hope that fans appreciate her and like you said, treat her as an umpire and an equal as everybody else.
Yep. And I do agree with your comment, Josh. I think the new way that catchers are framing pitches, I don't like. I understand the way they move their gloves and all that. What I don't like is the reach. The way they're trying to put the ball back closer to the plate when they catch it, and they're trying to drive everything back to the plate to change the angle of the view. It's granted, it's why we're seeing more catcher's interferences. It's why we're seeing, we saw Contreras break his arm because of it. I think catchers are doing everything they can to try to make it look a certain way, but they're screwing themselves up to steal a call or two.
Yeah. No, Sacher, like we want you guys to comment and be part of the show.
Please.
That's what this this baseball show is. This is for you guys. Like, yeah, we sit here and talk baseball, but we talk baseball with you. So definitely anything you have to add to the conversation, bring it right in for sure. Yeah, and this is I think the point I was trying to get to, Michael, was I hope us as fans don't stoop this low. Is it going to happen? Yes. And I hate that. And it's unfair to her. I mean, it's really unfair to umpires in general, because me, myself, am I critical on them? Yeah, I am. But I couldn't do that job. You kidding me? The velocity, the movement, there's no way that I could sit there and be confident I got 60% of those calls right. So it's terrible.
It's challenging. And I think, Joshua, I think you're right. I think catchers will still frame to a certain extent, but knowing they've got the ABS to help them, I think will take some of that away. They're still going to try to steal a strike, realizing that, not every single call is going to be challenged, but I don't think they're going to have to do it to the same extent, because they don't have to protect against the bad call. There is a chance to challenge it.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you, baseball history dork. I mean, and that's what we try to be. We try to be fair and understanding. Like, we're not going to be one side or the other. Like, it doesn't make sense to be. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm tuning in. Are the Braves fun to watch? No. Are the Marlins? You could argue yes. I mean,
I've watched probably more Marlins games in the last 2 weeks than I've watched in the last 2 years, and that team is fun to watch.
Yeah,
but the Braves. The Braves are just a big dumpster fire. I mean, Austin Riley's back on the IL. You look at that lineup now, and you're like, who are some of these guys?
Yeah, and
Marcell Ozuna's like hobbling around, batting ninth for them right now. Like, it's so bad.
It is bad. I am glad that they are starting her on the bases, and I think that's protocol mostly, is they don't bring the guys up from the minors and throw them right behind home plate and be like, hey, good luck.
Yeah, first game, good luck, enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna, and at least they're not starting her like at Fenway or Yankee Stadium or somewhere that would be like really volatile. I mean, the Braves are like that stadium's half full right now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I do love this, because this does give the opportunity for more women that want to explore this as an occupation.
Yep.
I love it, and I want, as a fan of baseball, I want the best of the best umpiring the games, just like I want the best of the best talent on the field. Umpires are no different, and they have the fail safes in place. But I think she's going to be great from all intents and purposes, and everything we've read. She has been incredible at the minor league level. You don't get a call up if you're not. So
no, true.
She's ready.
You've got to meet certain criteria to be considered for a call up, and she did. So
I think it was spring training.
Captain, yes, keep her out of Philly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Spring training, I think, is when we were talking about it, because I think that she was on like the first or second alternative. Like, she was like really close to almost breaking in out of spring training. I feel that's when we were talking about it.
Might be because she was getting more MLB action.
Yeah. So
that might have been.
Yeah. So all for it. I'm excited to see it. Definitely tuning in. But so you said it's Saturday, right? They're not playing tomorrow, or she's not up tomorrow with them?
She's not up until Saturday. Whoever she's filling in for is gone as of Saturday.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she got called up to fill in for somebody. I'm not even sure who. I didn't see it in the article. So she's coming in to fill. She's coming up to fill in for somebody. She's doing the doubleheader on Saturday, home plate on Sunday. I mean, we were going to try to start a GoFundMe to try to raise the money, America First. So we were going to buy the twins. And
this is really funny, because when the news started coming out, Harrison and I were like, hey, I was like, I got $20 to throw in. What do you got? Harrison's like, I got 50. And I was like, that might do it. I mean, let's do it.
Can we put the twins on a payment plan? Do they offer that?
I would be all for it, dude. Be like, just go out to my wife and be like, hey, we're moving to Minnesota. Pack it up.
Yeah, done. I mean, I would pick up the for sale sign would go up tomorrow. We'd be gone.
Dude, I'd put it up tonight.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I don't care what time it is. I'll be out there drilling a hole in the yard.
I don't even have one. I just put it on a piece of paper and a magic marker. Just be like, for sale.
That's like my crayon sign.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm excited to see this for sure.
Yeah, this would be cool, Flat Cheese. If we see her become a more regular umpire and we see her at an all-star game, or again, again, if she can do the job, she can do the job. It doesn't really matter. And there's a comment up above, Brian. Honestly, I want to see a woman play. I'd like to believe that day will come, and it'd be really cool to see. Because the game is obviously built around men and locker rooms. And there's all the logistical issues, but I would love to see a woman who's got the talent to come up and battle these guys. That'd be fantastic. I mean, I watched, was it Monet Davis, the girl that was pitching Little League not that long ago?
Yeah.
I was watching her pitching in Little League games. And I was pumped. Like, she was really good.
Yeah,
and she's actually one of the ones going out for that. They're starting a women's baseball league, and she's one of the 600 or so signed up, I believe, registered to try to make a team for that.
So I didn't know this, but one of my friends, Jen Hirschberger, I played softball with her in the Raleigh area. They were actually playing in Raleigh, and they had like the old women from the women's baseball league during that time, like in the lobby, cool, signing autographs and stuff. If I knew that event was there, I would have gone. Like it was really cool.
For sure.
But there's a lot of like young ladies playing baseball, and they're trying to get it going. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we got Michael's in for $102. We got Joshua for $1.38. I mean, we're on our way.
Yep. Let's do it.
Can we buy the Twins and move them to Portland? You know what, Captain? For you, we might explore that. Yeah. Problem is Target Field's kind of new, and I'm pretty sure that lease is kind of long, but we'll see what we can do.
And unfortunately, we're both from Maine, so it'd be the wrong Portland we're moving it to. So, I mean, sorry.
When I tell people I'm living in Portland, they're like, "Oh, you moved up the street." Nope, no, I didn't.
Yeah, no. All right, Jacob Marcy. Speaking of the Marlins, this kid, I know it's a very small sample size, but holy crap, has he come up and caused some damage. 6 for 12, 3 doubles, a triple, a home run, 5 walks, 647 OBP. In your first 5 major league games. If you're coming up and looking to make an impact, this is how you do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I mentioned him on Sunday, just watching that Yankee series. I mean, every time he came up, it was a line drive in the gap. It was something, and his family's there, and his mom's like in tears every time he gets a hit, and it just amazing. I mean, it's a whole event, but he is, everything he has hit has been hard. He's hit fastballs, changeups, curveballs. I mean, and he terrorized the Yankees.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the Yankees are in a state too, but still to do that against them is pretty incredible.
He just got named the All-Star game.
That's funny. How do you feel about this Marlins team? How close do you think they are? I mean, obviously not this year. Well, I mean, maybe not even obviously. I don't know. The NL East is.
I mean, unlikely to be this year. I think they're going to kind of hang around 500 and do their thing. But as I said last year, they won last year's trade deadline. You're seeing the fruits of a lot of that now. They've got a bunch of other young talent coming. If Alcantara wasn't so bad to start the season, they're probably a few games better and maybe in the wild card conversation. I think they're a couple years away. I think that these. I mean, Stowers is an absolute monster. Augustin Ramirez is a monster. Xavier Edwards, I mean, the dude scored from third base on a ball that went 4 feet in front of home plate, and there wasn't even a chance to tag him. He was already sliding through.
Yep.
They have all the pieces. They have the talent.
Yeah, Otto Lopez is a nice piece there too. Like they have a good core. They're a couple, a few pitchers away. Which that's another franchise that sneakily brings up good arms. Yeah.
Power arms too.
They're not the Tampa Bay Rays when it comes to pitching, but they're not far off. You look at their track record throughout their history, they bring up some decent pitchers. Do they always stay with the Marlins? No, but they at least bring them up through the system. So maybe they have some arms that are ready. Maybe they go and get some if they feel like they're ready to compete next year. But I think I'm with was it Michael that said it? They're 2-3 off. You said about 2 years off. I think they're close. I mean, was it 23? They made the playoffs, which was weird.
I know. Strange.
And I think this is a team that could possibly do that next year. They could possibly sneak in that way because these young kids are good. They're very good.
Yeah.
This is the hitting version of Tyler Gilbert. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
And Brian, this has always been the problem with the Marlins is will they be able to keep any of these guys? And for the Marlins, when a guy comes up that the 5-year clock starts ticking.
Oh yeah.
So all these guys that come up now, that 5-year clock starts ticking. So 2030, these guys are all walking out the door if you don't trade them off sooner than that. So how long the window's open. You need to take advantage of that window while you have it, and just not waste that time. You can't spend another 2 years trading off pieces and trying to bring in more prospects. You need to begin to build around this core so that in 2 or 3 years you can be a legitimate contending team for probably 2 or 3 years, and then the cycle starts over again.
Yep. Yeah, and Brian, these are the arms I'm talking about: Beckett, Burnett, Penny, Jose Fernandez, Sandy Alcantara,
Josh Johnson.
John,
they developed arms for years.
Levon Hernandez. You forget how good he was.
Yeah. The D train.
I mean, the list goes on. So, I mean, maybe they got some of the minors that they're ready for, but I mean, we'll see.
I mean, their minor league system is chock full.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, they won the trade deadline last year because that haul they got at the deadline last year was ridiculous.
Yeah, and if they wanted to, they could take a guy like Stowers and probably package him up for a bunch of things if they really needed to. But he is absolutely a middle of the order threat, and the kind of guy you can build around.
And a ninth inning threat. How many walk-offs does he have this year? One was a grand slam. I think he's got a couple home runs, walk-off doubles. I mean, it's wild. This isn't really a hot take. I don't mind this at all, East Coast. This is a good call. Should have traded Otto Lopez at the deadline, get a pitcher. And I mean, Sandy's looked better his last few starts, but like Harrison said, his start to this season was not good. But man.
Yeah, and Brian, you're right. Willis was a Cubs draftee. He got traded to the Marlins when he was early in the minors, and then they developed him. But yeah, he came up with started with the Cubs.
Oh, gotcha.
8th round pick back in 2000, which seems like it was yesterday, but it's not yesterday anymore.
2000, man. God, 25 years ago.
Yeah, and could you imagine this? Wood, Pryor, Willis, Clement, if the Cubs had all those pitchers together. Whew.
Did Evaldi come up with a fish? I don't even know who he came up with. I can't even remember. He just all of a sudden seemed to be on.
Yeah, I mean, he got drafted by the Dodgers and came up. Oh, that's right. He came up with the Dodgers. He spent the first 2 years there and then went to Miami and then New York and then Boston and then Texas.
Gotcha. Wow. All right.
The Dodgers. Yuck.
Yeah. All right. Some MLB trivia here to end the show. Like always, I have the first 4. Harrison did the last 4. I haven't seen what he put in there. So here we go. Here is the first one. Who was the first player in MLB history to record 8 RBIs from the 8th inning on in a single game? Happened on May 11th, 2022.
8 RBIs after the 8th inning?
Yes, sir.
Holy cow. Well, I'm pretty sure I recognize that chicken wing swing, but I'm going to wait and give Chad a minute.
You can put it in the private chat if you think you know, Harrison.
Well, I could do that.
Yes, sir. Ramirez is a good guess, not Jose Ramirez. Oh, another good guess. Yep, not Jose.
He's not a Guardian anymore.
Nope. He's been on 3 teams in 3 years, actually. And absolutely killing it for his new team right now. Speed Demon.
Yeah.
Absolute speed demon.
He might be your next 30-30 or 40-40 guy.
Yeah, it is Josh Naylor, Captain. Yeah. Josh Naylor for sure. They just played the game. I saw it on a clip actually on Facebook yesterday. They were down. He hits a grand slam in the 8th. Gets up in the 9th and then does it again in the 10th. Like just crazy. And I think John Boy actually broke it down because it was a wild trip for Josh Naylor. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and he did leave the game. It was with the back.
Oh no.
He left early in the game today.
Dang.
I didn't hear what it was though.
Yeah.
Nolan Jones, that's a good guess. That's a guy who's done some crazy things, but oftentimes doesn't get talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here is the next one. Who had more career wins after his age 38 season than he did before his age 38 season? 25-year career. His overall record was 269 and 201. I bet you guys would never get this one.
That silhouette is like burned into my memory. John Boy's amazing. Bite your tongue, Brian. John Boy's amazing. All right, who's got this answer?
Yeah,
there it is.
There it is. It's definitely our boy, Jamie Moyer. I had to throw it in there this week. I had to throw one in there. It's been at least 3 weeks since the last Jamie Moyer trivia question.
Yep. So, and that's that silhouette, that follow through.
Yep, absolutely.
Legendary.
All right, here's the next one. Who is tied with High Pockets Kelly and Harry Hooper for the lowest career ERA, 0.00, for a member of the Hall of Fame?
High Pockets Kelly is such an 1800s name.
Oh, for sure. It's incredible.
High Pockets Kelly.
I saw that name and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That's
incredible. Even better than my Tippy Fairbanks.
Yep. I think I'm just going to start using that one.
Chad, yes. Nick loves to like randomly throw in a Jamie Moyer trivia question just to trip you guys up. Every few weeks we mix Jamie Moyer in because we know you guys guess him every week anyways.
Yeah, Cubs legend. Yeah. Does anybody have an idea on this one?
No clue who this would be, although it's a batter, so.
Low pockets duper.
Low pockets duper.
No, not Wade Boggs.
Albert Pujols.
No. Why would you guess Albert Pujols?
I know, because he got lit up when he pitched.
Dude, look what I have as an emblem next to it. Why would you guess?
Oh, I know. I was just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Fuzzy low pockets. I mean,
Moyer was great, America First. We are trying like heck to search every avenue to try to get him on the show. Yes, Michael Simpson. It is Honus Wagner.
That would make total sense.
Honus Wagner is correct. He has 9 innings pitched, not given up a single run in his career.
9 innings pitched. Wow.
Yep. Not a single run. So.
Wow.
Oh, Boggs does have a 0 ERA. Does he? I know he went out and threw the knuckleball a few times, but he didn't give up any runs.
Boy, that's a good one. I remember him pitching in New York.
Yeah, his knuckleball was ridiculous. It could be.
Got to find his pitching stats.
It would be all the way at the bottom.
Kind of hilarious. Standard pitching. Let's see. Oh no, sorry. Boggs is got a 3. Where is his ERA?
If he's given up runs, he doesn't have a 0, so it doesn't.
Yeah, 3.8. He's got a 3.86 ERA.
Okay, but still, I mean,
he's given up 1 run in 2 1/3 innings, and he gave it up with Tampa in '99. Oh no, sorry, gave it up with the Yankees. Sorry, it's the Yankees that gave up the run.
Moyer is a Mariner, not a Cubs legend. Man,
you guys can argue over who he belongs to.
The one
because he belongs to everybody.
Yeah, the one guy with the A's who struck out Ohtani. But all right, here is the next one. This one's a little bit tougher. Who is the only MLB pitcher to win a game in all 4 Canadian ballparks?
Oh boy.
So this is not our era of baseball, I would
I was
say.
going to say,
Harrison.
this is, I mean, some of those Canadian ballparks haven't been around for a while.
Yep. So this is his career path, if you can follow it. Pittsburgh
Space Jam Bill
Yankees.
Lee's a good answer.
That's a good guess. It is not him. Nolan Ryan's also a great guess.
He's
It's
an
not
answer
Nolan
to
Ryan.
a lot of trivia questions.
Yeah.
Moyer.
I wasn't going to throw a second one in there, although the thought did cross my mind, Flat Cheese. Not Randy Johnson. It's a good guess. This might be I probably could have saved this for Final Jeopardy in week 10.
Yeah,
I think
this
it's
is a good
that
one.
tough.
I mean, Ken Hill had a couple years in Montreal, but I think he would have missed at least one of the ballparks.
Yeah. It's not him. This is a lefty.
All four. Oh, it's right. It's a silhouette.
Yeah, not Randy Johnson.
Real Cormier.
Nope. That would have been awesome if we doubled up on him.
I know, perfect.
Oh my goodness, Michael's on one right now. He's still got
What?
his Jeopardy brain on. It is John Candelaria.
Wow.
Nice work, Michael. Man.
Wow.
And that's why he's on the Jeopardy leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Damn.
Wow. Nice one. Nice pull. All right, Harrison, I think these next ones are yours.
They are.
All right. What do we got?
All right. Who's the only player to play for all four original expansion franchises and only those franchises?
So that's what? The Expos, Mets.
No, these are the original expansion franchises. So the Angels and Rangers in 61 and the Mets and Houston Colt 45s, Astros, in 62.
All right. So we got, you said Astros, Rangers.
So Angels, Rangers,
Twins.
Mets, and Astros. Angels,
Ooh.
Rangers, Mets, and Astros.
I mean, this is my go-to answer for, but only those teams.
Yep. Play for all four of them and only those four. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, of course.
East Coast Edits has it. It is Nolan Ryan.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so
I
the
should've
Angels
gotten
and Rangers joined MLB in 1961. And then a year later in 62, the Mets and the Houston Colt 45s, who were the Astros 3 years later, joined MLB.
Yep. Duh. Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta also always have to mix in a Nolan.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the answer to so many trivia questions.
Well, he owns like 8 bajillion records. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
only.
it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Only a few.
All right.
All right, I found this one interesting. So which four modern MLB clubs were originally in the American Association? And keep in mind, the American Association ended in 1890.
All right. So the Reds, right?
The Reds are one of them. Yep.
Pirates?
The Pirates are one of them.
It wasn't the Red Sox. Right? Because they were like the Boston Americans or whatever like that. The Yankees wouldn't be one, were they?
Not
No.
the Yankees.
I mean, would you count like the Twins, the Senators? Because I mean, they're all like sort of connected. Reds, Cardinals, Dodgers, Pirates.
That is correct, Michael.
Makes sense. Yeah. I don't think I would have gotten to the Dodgers, but I would have. Cardinals would have been my next guess for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is the Reds, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Pirates. So after the American Association folded in 1890, these clubs all moved to the National League and have been there ever since.
Yeah. Philadelphia Athletics isn't a bad guess either.
That's a really good guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good guess.
Yep. Nice. All right.
All right. This one I thought was just really cool. So which player hit 86 career home runs in New York, but never played for a New York team?
It's red.
It's red. Yep, it is red.
Mo Vaughn.
No. Raffy Devers, no.
I feel like I should know this one too. Is it a Red Sox player?
It is not a Red Sox player.
Is it Mark McGwire?
It is not Mark McGwire. Ooh, some good guesses. Chipper Jones, good guess. Not Chipper. Not Bench.
Yeah, because
Not
so
Hank
this
Aaron.
this means they could homer in like against the Mets or the Yankees, right?
These were home runs they hit in the state of New York. So Mets, Yankees,
Brooklyn Dodgers,
Brooklyn
New York
Dodgers, could have been
Giants.
anybody. These were home runs hit in New York.
Schmidt's a good guess.
Schmidt's a really good guess. It is not Schmidt.
Stan Musial.
It is absolutely Stan the Man.
Is it really? Wow.
So 86 of his 475 career home runs were hit in New York. 49 were hit at the Polo Grounds. 37 were hit at Ebbets Field.
49 at the Polo Grounds when a combined 386 feet if you laid them end to end.
Yeah. Or they went like 72 miles if they were hit to center.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Musial. Wow.
Which is impressive because you're talking almost 20% of his career home runs were hit in New York.
But if you think about it,
he played a lot of places.
Teams. Well, but there also wasn't as many teams either. So he probably had more opportunities to play in New York too. So
yeah.
Because I mean you had the Dodgers and the Giants there at the same time, I believe, so during his career.
Yeah. But, so he had how many to center? Probably not many. Michael had Musial also.
Yeah. Nice. Of course he did. Nice.
He's still in Jeopardy mode.
Yeah, he's on a heater right now. All right. Last one, right?
All right. This one I just thought was fun too. Which player hit into the most triple plays in their career?
Most triple plays? Didn't somebody do it on like their first major league at bat?
I don't know. That'd be cool though.
I think someone did, but this one I have no idea. It's orange.
It's orange.
Going with Astros or the Tigers. Let's go with Miguel Tejada because I know he had a whole bunch of double plays at one point.
No, not Tejada.
Henderson?
Not Henderson. Not Brett.
Not George Brett. Al Kaline.
Good guess, but not Kaline.
All right, so it's the Tigers.
Didn't say it's the Tigers.
You said it was good. You said it was a good guess. So
it is a good guess because that's the kind of guy that would hit in some triple plays. Hit the ball hard and didn't run well.
You got
There's other orange teams.
You got the Giants too.
You got the Giants. You got a couple others.
Mets.
The Mets have orange. The Orioles have orange.
I don't have a guess. Brooks Robinson.
Nice job, Chad.
It is
Brooks Robinson. He hit into 4 triple plays in his career in 58, 64, 65, 67. He was also involved in 3 triple plays in the field.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, 4. I mean, hitting into 4 triple plays. I mean, granted, a guy that he hit the ball hard and didn't run great. But that's a lot of triple plays.
Now that you say that, I think I saw a stat where he was like involved in like an obscene amount of percentages of triple plays ever. Now that we're laying this out, because he's been a part of 7 triple plays, whether he hit into it or was part of one.
It's a lot of triple plays.
Yeah, nice job. East Coast got it too.
Nice.
Brooks Robinson. Dang, I should have gotten that one. I definitely remember it now. That's a good one.
Yeah, guy known for his glove that hit into a bunch of triple plays.
That's cool. All right, guys. It is official. Terry Shumpert is coming on our show next Thursday. So a week from tonight, former MLB super utility player Terry Shumpert will join the show at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So this is our first former Major League Baseball player to come on the show. I've been talking through him through Instagram. And he's excited to come on and talk baseball, talk his career, what he's doing now. So it's pretty cool for Harrison and I. We've been talking a lot about it off off air about how exciting this is going to be to listen to a guy that made it. Like his dream came true, played 13 seasons. And pretty cool. I actually talked to Jim Rowe and Beth today, Harrison, and asked him if Jim remembered Terry Shumpert. And Beth's like, yeah, just tell him that whatever the nickname he had for Jim, he said, tell him Skid said hello. So Terry and Jim know each other.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm going to make sure I bring that up. But yeah, and Captain, even if you miss it, but like it will be on for sure. You'll be able to find it. But yeah, completely excited for this. Can't wait for this show. It's going to be awesome.
But yeah, it's going to be so cool. And a guy who played in Kansas City, Boston, Chicago, San Diego, Colorado, Tampa. And I didn't realize this, but he was actually a second round pick of the Royals. Relatively high draft pick. A guy who came out of college with a lot of expectation.
Go back and look at his Kentucky stats. It's impressive.
Yeah, I remember him being a good, and he was also on the U.S. national team. Like there's a lot of really great baseball in his past.
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear the stories that he's got, what it was like for him. So it's going to be awesome. And like I said, it's our first former MLB player. So pretty cool.
Chad, we should do a Who Is That Guy with him, giving it him.
So it's funny, Chad, because that's how we got hooked on this, because I've been doing the silhouettes on Facebook, and I had him in the show, was it last week or the week before, as like one of the picture clues, and I had his teams on, the college on. And one of his buddies that follows us was like, hey, I know Terry Shumpert. Like I talk to him like 2 times a week. He's like, would you want to reach out to him? And I go, yeah, of course I would. So then I started talking to him through Instagram, and that's how we found it. So
yeah. Do you want an intro? No, please. Anything but that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing that somebody in our community is like, oh, I just happen to know him.
Yeah. So it was cool. So I actually sent Terry Shumpert the reel of us, like with the clue of him in it. And he laughed at it. He goes, wow, that's really cool. And he's like, you guys look like you have a lot of fun and excited to come on and talk. So, and I know you guys are going to be respectful in the chat. And that's why it's going to be incredible. Like you guys bring it every night. You love talking everything about baseball, and you're respectful doing it. And that's what Harrison and I have dreamt about this thing being, is just respectful baseball fans. Even if we don't agree, like we're not tearing each other apart. We're like respectfully disagreeing, seeing where you're coming from. And I think that's what makes our community so unique and so special, is that we don't tear each other down about our views. Like we all follow different teams, but like we respect the heck out of that. And we have great baseball discussions because of it. So that's
I will say the trash talk during Jeopardy gets pretty intense.
Well, that's a different animal. That's competition on the line, Harrison. But no, I say it every week. I know, guys, but I mean, you guys are incredible, and we couldn't do this without you. So we really thank you a lot. And because of you guys, like our page is absolutely exploding right now.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane, and we have all you guys to thank about it. I mean, Michael, this is fair. We only crap on our own teams and the Yankees.
Well, I mean, for sure, we have to crap on those teams.
Yeah, so for sure. But yeah. So, do you guys have anything else that you want to bring up? We have probably, I don't know, as long as you guys want. Anything else you guys want to talk about right now? So yeah, we're gonna start doing this at the end of the show, so you guys can see what everyone's talking about here.
Yeah, because we don't get a chance to share every comment made. So now, as you guys are throwing things out there, you can actually see what we see.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything else you want to bring up for the last, few minutes here? The floor is yours. And while we're waiting for them, Harrison, do you have anything to add?
Well, I got a couple things here, but I don't want to go crazy if there's other stuff. But I will throw one out there.
Okay.
Our good friends in Salt Lake that are, obviously making their push for baseball. They are putting a full court press out right now with MLB. So they took a recent poll, found that over 80% of the residents of kind of Utah in general are fully supportive of bringing an MLB team to the state. They're happy to do whatever needs to be done. They've got a tech sector that's booming. The communities are growing. They are putting together the package for the ballpark is going to go. They are, they've got deep college sports. They've got MLS. They've got the Jazz. They've got the hockey. They are in full court press mode to try to show MLB why they need to fill out the roster of sports, and feel very strongly that they've got a media market of 3 million. They've got, or I should say, they've got a metro market of 3 million. They want baseball in a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They have basketball. They've had basketball for a while. They just got hockey. I mean, I think Salt Lake makes sense. I really do. I do have possibly another interview set up here. Hopefully, still kind of working it out. I'm in touch with MLB Raleigh. So there's a group that is formed in Raleigh to try to do almost kind of the same thing that Salt Lake City and all these other cities are doing. These guys are heading it up. They know so much more than everything else than I do. They know all the intricate details. They've interviewed the Canes owner who's kind of heading this all up. But I'm hopefully trying to get them on too, to kind of talk more about what that process looks like. So could keep an eye on that. But I think Salt Lake City makes sense over there. It breaks up the Rockies out there being out on an island by themselves. Seattle, unfortunately, I think stays on that island. I don't see any other city between there and Colorado to really break it up. I think Salt Lake City and Las Vegas are really the only two spots out west that you can quote unquote break that area up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the West Coast is challenging because you've got Vegas, and then you've got these little pockets, but from your true kind of central states to the West Coast, there's a bunch of nothing in between. So
Right.
you're either all the way out on the West Coast, or you're back in the middle of the country, because there ain't anything in between. And except for these little pockets like Salt Lake, Salt Lake is a good market. Vegas is a good market. There's really not much else that would be of that size.
Yeah. Okay. Fair, Captain. I keep forgetting about Portland. I'm sorry. Like, Portland could get Seattle off that island. I agree. But then now it's it's a 2-team island.
Well, yeah, but now you're back out of the coast. MLB is trying to fill in a little bit of that hole in between, because really, when you travel out west, you fly over the Rockies and nobody else.
Right.
There's nobody in between, like St. Louis and LA. You've got Colorado. That's it.
Right.
Salt Lake fills. Vegas will fill some of that hole. Salt Lake would add another pin in that little area, but you've got so little out there in that. Until you get all the way out to the coast, you've got really nothing in between the center of this country and the Pacific Ocean.
Well, that's just in general, not even just baseball.
I mean that's just population.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
there's also no NFL teams in that area either. So
right.
You mean Helena, Montana isn't big enough? No. I mean, Reno and Fresno aren't big enough. Salt Lake City is barely big enough.
Although imagine an MLB field in Montana, man, that would be gorgeous.
I feel like it would just have to be like carved out of the mountains.
Immaculate. It would be so cool.
Boise, Idaho is a good size, but still not big enough.
Yeah.
It's challenging because there's just not a lot out there.
Well, and John, that's a fair point where, like, MLB is going to look at the overall state of what the city looks like, right? I don't think they want to put a team into a city that has a lot of that. I mean, I don't want to say poverty, but has a lot of that, like, on-street problems, right? I mean, if they can help it, they want to put it in a quote-unquote clean market, if you will. But
Cheyenne, Wyoming is well in the town I went to college in.
yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, I remember, I mean, I traveled out to Denver for work several times. We had satellite locations in areas like Cheyenne, and you drive into these places and you're like, this is the biggest city in this state, really?
Yep.
Where the hell are all the people?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I've driven from Denver all the way back to Maine, and
Ooh.
literally Nebraska and Iowa, you're just like 10 miles of corn, 10 miles of cows, 10 miles of corn, 10 miles of cows, all the way
Whole
until you
bunch of
just like,
nothing.
then all of a sudden it's like, bang, Chicago. You're like, okay, what the heck? And then you're just back into a whole bunch of nothing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's even like you don't even see Denver coming until you kind of like you kind of crest it and you're like, oh wait, there's a big city coming.
yeah,
But you don't see anything coming. But you see, then you start to see the mountains, and all of a sudden, like, boom, there's Denver.
yeah.
But it's
Pretty
just a
cool.
whole bunch of freaking nothing.
Yeah, flying into Denver is pretty cool. Like you
It
said,
is.
it's nothing for like an hour and a half in the plane, and then you just see the Rockies come out of nowhere. You're like, man, this is awesome. It's
Yeah, the
pretty
plane
cool.
starts descending, and you're like, into where? Like, where are we going? There's nothing here.
Yeah,
But
but it's cool. Yeah,
anyways, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
and Portland's good size. I mean, Portland is it's a good size metro. It could support a team. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember I spent several weeks out in the Portland area, and it's a great city. Everything's new, shiny, fresh. I mean, minus the chaos they have right now with the downtown area. It's a super easy to navigate city, and they could easily plug a team in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he said Seattle's way worse than Portland with the homeless and stuff like that. But I mean, Seattle's already established. So what I was
Yeah.
saying was like they're not going to put a new team in a spot that is like that. I wouldn't think. I think they're trying to steer away from that because there are better, quote, cleaner options.
Yeah, Montana is so freaking big. Like,
Yeah.
you can just driving through nothing for hours on end.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's crazy.
All right, we had a question a little bit back here from Chad. So first time eligible Hall of Fame players in 2026. You want the list, Nick?
Bring it. I already know what the answer is going to be. No, nobody gets in. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So first time eligible players on this ballot are going to be Cole Hamels, Ryan Braun, Alex Gordon, Shin-Soo Choo, Matt Kemp, and Nick Markakis.
Yeah, no. I mean, zero. I'm with Michael. Zero are getting in. Cole Hamels really has the only. I'm not even going to say shot, but I think he's the best out of that group. I think if you look at Nick Markakis's overall stats, he might surprise you, but it's still not Hall of Fame worthy.
No, Markakis 2,388 hits, 288 career batting average, 357 OBP, 1,046 RBIs, 189 home runs. You know,
Yeah.
Markakis was one of those guys who he was around for a long time, and he very quietly put up a great career, but he is not the kind of guy who is going to get in. So all of your first timers, so those are kind of your headliners, all your first timers, Cole Hamels, Ryan Braun, Alex Gordon, Shin-Soo Choo, Edwin Encarnacion, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Hunter Pence, Gio Gonzalez, Matt Kemp, Jason Kipnis, Daniel Murphy, Rick Porcello, Matt Wieters, Jeff Samardzija, Chris Davis, Kelvin Herrera, and Edinson Volquez.
I think all of them fall off the ballot except for Hamels and Braun. I could see them possibly maybe getting the one or two votes it's needed to stay on the ballot.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you need what?
I think
what is it? Is it
it's like
10%?
5%.
Is it
Yeah,
5% or 10%?
it's 5 or 10. It's low. I could possibly see them staying on. Brian Braun's got so much baggage with him. It wouldn't surprise me if he falls off.
The Peds are going to kill him.
Well, that's what I mean by baggage is
Yep.
he might just automatically fall off. Oh, good morning, Graham. Good to see you, buddy. All the way from Finland. Love
it.
Graham's been following us pretty much since day one. That's like 3.5 years. So over in Finland. Love it. So that's awesome. Good to see you, Graham. And good morning to you. We're about ready to go to bed, but good morning. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, Braun's got too much. I don't think maybe Cole Hamels really is the only one that kind of hangs on for a couple votes. And then to go back to, I think Michael said, please let this mean that Andrew Jones gets in. He has to with this ballot. If he can't get in on this ballot, he doesn't get in, period, because this is the year he has to get in.
Yeah, Andrew Jones, this is his 9th year on the ballot. I mean, he's running out of time. So Beltran had 70.3% last time. He seems like he should get in. Andrew Jones, 66.2%. He seems like he should get in. Everybody else was under 40%. So other guys on the ballot, Chase Utley, A-Rod, Manny in his final year, Pettit, Felix Hernandez, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, Omar Vizquel, Dustin Pedroia, Mark Burley, Francisco Rodriguez, David Wright, and Torrey Hunter.
It wouldn't surprise me if you see Felix Hernandez kind of spike in this next voting.
He was 20.6% last time.
He might spike a little bit because the talent pool and the guys on PEDs on this list. I think Felix Hernandez could spike.
Yeah, it's hard because like you look at Felix's numbers, 169 and 136 with a 3.42 ERA.
Yeah.
Mark Burley got half as many votes with 214 wins and a 3.81 ERA.
And Mark Burley should have a decent case too. That dude never missed games ever.
I know.
His entire career. Talk about durability. Like you look at his games started in his career, it's remarkable. Go check out his baseball reference page. It's wild.
Yeah. And then you got K-Rod with 437 saves, and he got 10% of the vote.
Yeah. I wonder if he might spike too, especially now with Wagner getting in. You might see him spike a little bit too.
Yeah. But I think Beltran and Andrew Jones are probably the only two that I look at and go, yeah, they'll get in.
Yeah.
I think after that, I don't think anybody from this new group gets in.
No.
I think a few of them stay on the ballot, but none of them get in. I don't think any of these other guys climb up high enough to get in.
No. And Silix, I agree with you. Andrew Jones should have already been in. 400 home runs, 10 gold gloves. I mean, what are we even talking about? Yes, his career average was not great, but there are guys in the Hall of Fame with lower batting average than him. So what are we even talking about? I don't understand the Andrew Jones hate. And Silix again, yeah, Felix Hernandez was a dog. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunately he didn't get the win totals, but it doesn't matter. The guy was an animal. He was so good. Yeah. And John says it right here. Felix played for the Mariners, who blew over 65 games for him. You add 65 to his win total, that looks a lot different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to argue that he was a victim of where he was. And he didn't do enough, partially because his career wasn't as long as some of these guys, but also because he just didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't forget, Felix is the owner of one career home run too. So,
yeah, and it's a grand slam.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yep. Chad asks, will Pete Rose be the only one to get in after all the lifetime ban is up?
So, as it stands right now, Pete is not on the ballot because, I guess, for a couple reasons. One, the ban is over. Reinstatement will take place, but the Hall of Fame works separate from Major League Baseball. So,
right.
So they will actually have to put him on the ballot and start the clock. The issue is going to be because he retired so long ago, he may not be eligible to go on the ballot. He may have to go to the Eras Committee. Is that what they call him now?
Yeah, Veterans Committee, Eras
Committee. Yeah, the old
whatever.
Veterans Committee. He may not be ballot eligible. He actually may have to go right to the Eras Committee. So there's still a lot of questions about how that would work.
But if he's never been on the ballot to begin with, wouldn't you have to start him there? Because most of these Veteran Committee guys were on the ballot and fell off, right? And then the Veterans Committee picked them up.
but they were on the ballot after they retired. Pete Rose has been retired for so long that window of time to be placed on the ballot after retirement's closed.
Right, which I get, but if someone was never on the ballot to begin with, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because it's uncharted territory.
Yeah, I'm not sure
It's
what the
never
rule
happened.
is. I'm not sure what the rule is or how the Hall of Fame is going to interpret it. But
They
you're
probably
supposed to
don't know
go.
what the rule is.
Yeah, you're supposed to go on the ballot. What is it? 5 years after retirement?
Yes, I believe so.
And that's come and gone a long, long time ago. So does that mean do you count his reinstatement date as his retirement date? So now we got to wait 5 years for him to go on the ballot. Do you waive that and he goes right on? Like, I don't know what they do here.
Michael says he goes to the committee. Same with Shoeless Joe.
Yeah, and from what I've read, that's what my understanding was, that he is not ballot eligible, but he can go to the ERAS committee. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what they do with this.
I mean, it makes sense that that's where he would go because, like you said, he's been retired for so long that he's not quote unquote eligible for the ballot. But in the same time, like my thought is he didn't have a chance to go on the ballot. But maybe that's part of the punishment. I don't know.
Yeah,
We've never been here before where they've reinstated a Hall of Fame potential guy.
All right, so here's what I'm reading online. He is not eligible to go on the ballot because his window has closed. 5 years retired, 10 years post that. And the earliest he could be inducted, assuming the Hall of Fame follows a typical process, is the summer of 2028 when he would become eligible for the Classic Era Committee based on his retirement date.
Okay.
So that's what I'm reading online, is that he's not even eligible now.
Okay.
There's going to be time that has to lapse before he can be considered by the committee.
Yeah.
But he will not be going on the ballot from what I'm reading.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. I mean, shame to see Bartolo Colon not on that ballot. I love Bartolo Colon, man. I think his career is underrated too. Do you think he's kind of like longevity kind of hurt him too?
I mean, maybe to a certain extent. I think for Bartolo, when you look at Bartolo's career, he had some incredible highs and some really kind of painful lows.
His incredible highs were ridiculous, though.
They were, and I think for him, he was more of like a cult icon than he was a pitching icon. I mean,
it's fair.
247 career wins, a 4.12 ERA, 2,535 strikeouts. Good numbers.
I mean, you said 4.12 ERA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's one of those guys who's like right on the bubble. I mean, 247 wins. That's pretty damn impressive.
How many
4.12
years?
ERA, 21 years.
21 years as a pitcher. That's incredible.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of those years where he had probably 5 years where he was a part-time pitcher, either because of injury or age.
Yeah.
He's a tough one because in some ways I say, yeah, probably. In other ways I go, oh, yikes, maybe not.
So when you see like the Hall is sort of, I'm going to say watered down, if you will, right? With these borderline guys. Do you think we see more borderline guys start getting in now? Especially you look at this ballot, right? There's not a whole lot coming up between Ichiro and Pujols probably.
Yeah, I mean we can take a sneak peek at the ballots coming up, but
I don't think they're that strong, to be completely honest.
2027, you pick up Buster Posey, John Lester, Brett Gardner, Ryan Zimmerman, Kyle Seager, Irvin Santana, Asdrubal Cabrera.
Eek.
I know, yikes. 2028, you potentially pick up Pujols, Cano, David Price, Lorenzo Cain, Yadi Molina, Andrelton Simmons, Justin Upton, Steven Strasburg. So, I mean, Pujols, that's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
He won't get 100% though, because somebody just won't want him to get it. And then 2029, you pick up Miggy, Joey Votto, Zach Greinke, Evan Longoria, Josh Donaldson, Adam Wainwright, Nelson Cruz. It looks like that's it.
There's a couple interesting names in that one.
There are. I mean, I'd love to see Votto go in, but he doesn't have the stats quite to get there. I mean, Miggy's a obvious no-brainer. Robbie Cano is an interesting one. A guy with 2,600 hits and a 301 batting average, but a lot of baggage.
Yeah, PED suspension, he won't go.
Yeah, so that's going to obviously ruin his candidacy.
So I don't think it's next year. I think next year we'll see somebody in 2027, though. We might not see anybody get in except for veteran committee guys.
Yeah, I mean, love Buster Posey, but 1,500 career hits ain't going to get it done.
No, 2027 looks really light because you think if Andrew Jones gets in, if Carlos Beltran gets in, 2027 might be a leap for maybe that's when K-Rod goes in. Maybe that's when those guys that I said would jump up in the votings from this year. Maybe that's when they'll get the vote in 2027 because there's nobody coming on this ballot this upcoming year or the following year that really jumps off the page to me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you've got a couple of windows here where you're not going to have much. And I think, other than, so like 2027 is probably pretty lean. 2028, you have a chance to pick up Pete Rose on that one too. And that's, I believe that would be when Shoeless Joe could also potentially go on if that timeline follows.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to that borderline guys will get in because nobody else is better than them. I think they're okay not electing anybody. But
especially with a veterans committee there to put guys in that deserve. So,
but I do think the flip side of that is to East Coast point. I think you may see more guys added to the ballot to try to create more options. But I think that the writers and the Hall of Fame are totally okay with there may be a year or two where nobody gets elected, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah, and it's happened before, and as much as you don't want that to happen, if you look at the class and it doesn't jump out at you, then you let it happen.
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz is for sure an underrated one. Omar Vizquel, this one kills me. Omar Vizquel should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
If Ozzy's there, Omar's there. Omar was better offensively, only has one less Gold Glove. Like, why are we talking about this?
It's brutal. Will they do one in 2027 if they're on strike? Yeah, because the Hall of Fame is separate from MLB. So no matter what MLB's doing, I mean, they could fold. MLB could completely fold, which really isn't out of the question if you think about it. Completely fold.
Maybe they never come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we got to figure out what to do with this podcast if they don't come back.
Yeah, right.
What becomes of our show?
We would be hiring Justin in a minute to do all just history, but
we'll be doing Stratomatic baseball, and you guys can follow along.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Yeah, they would still have the Hall of Fame vote because it's completely separate. So
yeah, Hall of Fame operates independently.
Yeah, right. It's the baseball Hall of Fame, not the MLB Hall of Fame. 1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chad, I totally agree. The writers voting irks me. Always has. You got guys that have biases. You got guys that maybe haven't always been baseball writers. You've got a new crop of writers that have come up that have come into the group that came from other sports first. Or I don't know how qualified some of these writers are anymore to be voting.
See you, John. We'll see you soon, bud.
See you, John.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to revamp the voting process because that's how the Hall of Fame rolls, but it needs to be. We've talked about this numerous times. I love how the NFL does it. They literally sit in a closed room and they don't come out until they have discussed every single guy, and everybody at the table gets a vote.
Yeah,
and that's how it should be.
The black smoke comes out of the chimney. The decision's made.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's how it should go. It should be voted on former players, former GMs, owners, all that stuff. Like guys on the field that competed against each other, not these writers with bias. I love how the NFL does it for sure.
Yep. People that actually know how to judge these guys should be judging them.
A third writers, a third former players, a third fan vote. I would love to have say in the Hall of Fame. I really would, Michael. And I really wish I could get on board with that. You're putting too much faith in fans. You know what I mean? Like, I think I think they should have a say. I think that's important. I get what
Yeah.
you are talking about. But I think it should be lesser weight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe listen to what the fans have to say, but not necessarily put that much weight on it. Because then, you're looking at teams like the Marlins. Like, are their fans really going to show out for Hall of Fame voting? I don't know. Like it starts kind of getting weighted that way. But I agree that fans should have a say because, I mean, we support their asses. Let's be honest, we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we should have a say. I agree with that. But yeah, 1/6 fan vote, 1/6 baseball execs. I mean, that's I could probably go with that. I could probably go with that for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Nope. But
I mean, and the Heisman is the perfect example because that really is the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, the YouTube trolls are coming out now.
It's late.
Yeah,
it's late. Now, yeah, you guys get to see all the fun stuff we get to see.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Now you guys can appreciate what Cap'n does for us in the comments if you're not on YouTube. But,
Cap'n's usually like all over these people. Like I'm trying to save them before Cap'n gets his hands on them.
Yeah. Cap'n actually says no fans. No. I mean, I don't disagree with that point for sure. I mean, I would love to have a say. I really would. And Harrison and I have always talked, like, if we ever somehow got a Hall of Fame vote, we would make it public. Because I hate these guys that just throw in a private vote and leave Ichiro off the ballot. I mean, like, if you have a valid reason, if you can tell me baseball-wise why you left Ichiro Suzuki off the ballot, I want to hear it. I might not agree with it, but, like, it's how you viewed it. If you viewed that he wasn't a Hall of Famer, then fine. But, like, tell us why.
Yeah, if 394 of your peers voted yes and you were the one that voted no, you should have to explain that.
Yeah, 1,000%. And Cap'n, that's a great point. Your Brett Gardner would be in if it were up to fans.
Yeah. I mean, love Brett Gardner. Not a Hall of Famer, but Yankees fans would vote for that guy like crazy.
Yeah. And yeah. I love baseball fans. I love everybody here, but I'm not going to trust you with a Hall of Fame ballot. Like,
I mean, look at the All-Star voting. If that's any indication,
it's brutal.
I mean, it's names. It's who they know.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't trust you guys. Like, you guys in the chat, I would trust to make a good, solid baseball decision. But fans in general, like you said, Harrison, I think turns into an all-star popularity contest.
It's a disaster. Yeah, every Yankee would get in. Every Dodger would get in.
Yep. I mean, Red Sox Nation would be out there too. I mean, there's a lot of fan bases that would show up for Hall of Fame voting. And like I said,
you'd never see another Pirate get in. You'd know.
No. Reds, Marlins. Yeah, it would be tough for sure. But all right. Anything else this evening before we head out?
I just want to let you know that your boy Jorge Alcala was claimed off waivers by the Cardinals and is now a member of the Cardinals.
Cool. Nice.
They just need bodies to fill out the bullpen.
Fine. Surprised the Braves didn't jump in there.
Maybe they did. I'm assuming that the Cardinals are ahead of them in order, but because I think they just made did a bunch of things, but maybe not.
Yeah. East Coast says the guy probably didn't vote for Ichiro because of the lack of power. I don't know, but the only reason you can think of. Yeah. You mean you don't think Pokey Reese is worthy? I already voted for him to be in the Hall of Fame, so yeah, I think, yeah.
Oh God.
The Hall of Fame for baseball names for sure. Right up there with Coco Crisp, Rusty Kuntz. Yeah, M's are 1.5 back. Yeah, that West is turning into an interesting race for sure.
It is.
I love it.
It really is.
And the Mariners have been fun to watch. I've been tuning into them a lot. I know that, John Temple's really got me on them because he messages me all the time about them. But I've been gravitating towards a lot of their games, especially with Suarez and Naylor, both my former Diamondbacks on that team. So they've been fun to watch, and they're playing good baseball right now. And I tune in to watch their pitching, man. Their pitching is elite.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Just so good.
Pete Lecoq, Milton Bradley, those are all great ones. There's so many great baseball names out there.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Milton Bradley, that's a good one. Question from Tommy up above about J. Roll in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think J. Roll's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I look at he got 18% of the vote, which is basically the same that Omar Vizquel got. Vizquel's got more than 400 more hits. Vizquel's got more RBIs. Vizquel's got a higher batting average. Vizquel's got a dozen Gold Gloves. The only thing he doesn't have is the power, but Vizquel beats him in everything, and he can't break that barrier either. So I think J-Roll had an incredible peak, but that was it.
Vizquel is one of 4 players to have a home run in 4 separate decades and a stolen base in 4 separate decades. I mean, that's pretty remarkable too, but
wild.
Yeah. Vizquel should be in.
I don't know why the writers keep holding him out.
The 2 guys that I don't understand aren't in are Andrew Jones and Omar Vizquel. If you just look at their careers, the eyeball test says, yeah. What are we doing?
Omar Vizquel had that whole legal situation at the very end that I think has probably cost him.
Possibly, yeah. But
where he sexually harassed and assaulted an autistic 25-year-old bad boy while he was a manager.
Yeah, that probably does it.
And there's a lot of there's not a ton of, I guess, like certainty around what happened, just some stories, but it's not good.
Yeah, not great. Not great. But Chad, I'm inviting Jason Varitek tomorrow if I get a vote. Yep. I'll be right in line with you, buddy. Favorite player of all time for sure. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and Tommy loved watching Jimmy Rollins play when he did.
Oh, for sure.
His MVP season is one of the better seasons I've watched, but he it's one of those things where he did a lot in a short window, but didn't do enough outside of it. And I think that just costs him.
Yeah. One of the 2 guys to hit 20, 20, 20, and 20. I mean, it's crazy.
That's right.
Yeah. So
wild.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Tommy. I mean, the Phillies team was good, but he's the only one out of that team that probably.
Well, Ryan Howard's overall career is underwhelming.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he hit bombs, but he did nothing else. He was a one-dimensional player.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to do it for us tonight, fellas. Again, another great show. We love this free form stuff at the end and you guys commenting throughout the show. We really appreciate it. Again, we'll be on Sunday. Next week is full. We got Sunday show. We got week 10 of Jeopardy on Wednesday. And then we got Terry Shumpert, former MLB player, on Thursday. So gonna be a jam-packed action week next week, or action-packed. Anyways, action-packed week next week. Words are hard. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Get some baseball in, relax, enjoy your families. We'll be back on Sunday night, mostly Sunday afternoon for most of you guys on the West Coast. But either way, we will see you Sunday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Make good decisions, or don't. Your choice.